Have you ever considered that the very food you eat might be actively rewriting the code of your existence, that each bite is not just fuel, but a command being sent directly to your DNA? What if those nagging cravings, that feeling of being trapped in a body that seems to betray you, were not simply a lack of willpower, but a form of biological programming? These questions are not mere intellectual curiosities. They cut to the heart of your well-being, your potential, and your very future, and the answers may challenge everything you thought you knew about health and what it means to be human. In this video, we will delve into the profound reality that food is not merely a source of calories, but a sophisticated code, a language spoken directly to your genes, dictating which parts of your potential are expressed and which remain dormant. Every choice you make about what you eat is like running a piece of software on the hardware of your body, either optimizing it for peak performance or corrupting it with destructive commands. Imagine that the vibrant greens of a spinach leaf, brimming with life and nutrients, are akin to an elegant, well-designed program, while the refined sugars and processed oils found in a candy bar are more like a virus, subtly rewriting the code of your biology in ways that can lead to disease, addiction, and the diminishment of your very essence. The truth is, the cycle of sugar addiction, those persistent cravings that seem impossible to ignore, are not accidental. They are not simply the result of a lack of discipline or personal failing. They are, in fact, the direct result of a carefully designed loop, a biochemical mechanism engineered by forces who profit from your dependence and keep you trapped in a cycle of consumption and ill health. Think about it. The initial rush of sweetness triggers a cascade of dopamine in your brain, creating an intense feeling of pleasure, an addictive hit that quickly fades, leaving you wanting more and more to re-experience that original high. This is not a random occurrence. It is a carefully calibrated process, and the forces who benefit from it are keenly aware of its power over you and your biology. The high-sugar, highly processed foods that dominate our modern diets are designed to create this precise reaction, keeping you caught in a web of craving, consumption, and dependence that undermines your health and diminishes your potential. And there are powerful vested interests that benefit from this system being in place. You are not failing. You are being programmed, and the first step to freedom is understanding the mechanics of how this programming works. There are also deeper truths about food and its connection to our biology, long-forgotten wisdom that has been deliberately suppressed or ignored. Our ancestors, living in harmony with nature, possessed an understanding of food that we have lost in the modern world. They viewed it not merely as sustenance, but as a sacred connection to the earth, a vital force that shaped not only the physical body, but also the mental and spiritual realms. Consider the simplicity of a traditional diet based on whole, unprocessed foods, bursting with life force and essential nutrients, compared to the processed, sugar-laden offerings of today's supermarkets, stripped of their vitality and loaded with addictive compounds. The disparity is stark and undeniable, a clear indication that our modern approach to food is not only deficient, but actively working against us. This is not just about the size of your waistline or the number on a scale. The consequences of our dietary choices reach far beyond the physical, impacting our mental clarity, emotional well-being, and even our capacity for spiritual growth. Have you ever noticed a direct correlation between what you eat and how you feel? Studies have repeatedly demonstrated a clear link between diets high in processed foods and sugar with a range of mental health issues, such as depression, anxiety, and chronic fatigue. The truth is, what we consume is shaping not only our bodies, but also our minds and our very sense of self. Your food, in this sense, is your future. The choices you make now are laying down the foundations for who you will become in the future, and the quality of life you will have, be that one of vitality and freedom or one of dependence and decay. Understand that your potential is not some fixed entity, but rather is locked within the very expression of your cells. When your cells are deprived of the nutrients they need, or are being flooded with toxic, addictive compounds, your ability to thrive, to access your true potential, is directly and profoundly undermined. Poor dietary habits, especially the overconsumption of sugar, lead to a cascade of negative outcomes, from chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes to accelerated aging and a diminishing of cognitive function. These conditions are not merely random occurrences. They are the direct consequences of the choices we make every day, and this suffering is often driven by forces that benefit from our collective disempowerment. But this knowledge, this understanding of the connection between diet and DNA, is not merely an academic exercise. It's a profoundly transformative power that we each hold within our reach. Knowing how your food directly programs your DNA allows you to become an active shaper of your biology, allowing you to rewrite your genetic code through the conscious choices you make about what you eat. You are not a victim of your genetics, nor are you doomed to a predetermined path. You have the ability to reprogram yourself, to break free from the chains of addictive eating habits, and move towards a state of vibrant health and full expression of your potential. You can take personal responsibility and begin to understand that you have the power to take control of your own destiny by first taking control of what you put into your body. This is the path to true freedom from programmed limitations, a journey from passivity into conscious creation, and it is the path to self-mastery. This journey begins with awareness and with recognizing that we are not powerless in the face of seemingly insurmountable cravings. We can move from being the passive consumer of someone else's agenda into the active creator of our own reality. To begin, it is essential to understand the basics of epigenetics, the science that demonstrates how external factors like diet can switch genes on or off without altering the underlying DNA sequence itself. It is not so much that our DNA changes, but that our DNA changes its expressions and functionality based on our environment, and the foods we ingest play a critical role as a key switch. Think of it like a light switch. The underlying wiring of your house remains the same, yet a simple flick of the switch can illuminate a room or plunge it into darkness, and this same concept is at play within our biology. Our diet is that switch, determining which genes are activated and which remain silent, having a direct and profound impact on our cellular expression, and thus, our experience of life. This understanding shatters the long-held belief that our genes are our destiny, revealing the powerful role that we have in shaping our own biological experience. And further, understand that food is not just calories or macronutrients. It is, more accurately, information, a complex language that speaks directly to our cells, dictating which genes are expressed, shaping our very form and function. Consider how specific nutrients act as key codes, unlocking particular biological responses, like how vitamin D acts as a master regulator, influencing the expression of hundreds of genes that are related to overall well-being, or how high levels of refined sugar can directly impact the expression of genes that are related to inflammation, setting the stage for chronic illness. This is the difference between a healthy body that experiences vitality and freedom, or a body that experiences disease and dysfunction, simply based on the information that is being provided via the foods that you choose to eat. There is, in fact, a powerful and direct connection between diet, DNA, and consciousness. What we eat does not only affect our physical health, but it also profoundly influences our mental clarity, emotional stability, and our capacity to access higher states of awareness, intuition, and even psychic abilities. For example, nutrients like choline, found in eggs and leafy greens, are essential for the production of neurotransmitters that affect memory and focus. When these nutrients are lacking, our cognitive function is directly impaired, and when these nutrients are abundant, the clarity we can access can be significantly heightened. Likewise, inflammatory foods like refined sugar and processed carbohydrates can create disturbances in the brain, leading to mood swings, anxiety, and a general dimming of our awareness. Conversely, diets rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and phytonutrients have been shown to have a profound positive effect on our mood and overall mental health, allowing for higher states of awareness and clarity. The food we consume dictates the expression of our DNA, which in turn shapes our ability to feel, think, and perceive the world around us. We can also see a stark difference between the modern dietary habits, dominated by processed foods and high levels of sugar, when compared to the diets of cultures who are in harmony with the environment, who consume nutrient-dense, organic, and natural foods. Visually speaking, consider the stark contrast between the colorful bounty of a farmer's market, abundant with fresh produce, and the sterile, uniform appearance of processed foods on a grocery store shelf, lacking any true semblance of life force. This direct comparison is not merely aesthetic. It represents a profound difference in the quality and the life-sustaining properties of these two very different approaches to food. If food programs your DNA, who is writing the code, and what is their agenda? Why is it so difficult to change our diet, and why are we all so hopelessly addicted to sugar? Is it possible that this is intentional, that we are being manipulated on a biological level for someone else's profit or control? What if you could reprogram your own DNA and unlock your full potential? These questions are not designed to create fear, but rather to ignite a spark of curiosity, a desire for a deeper understanding, and a resolve to take personal responsibility for your own health and the life you wish to create. There is a hidden system that benefits from our poor dietary habits. The food industry and large corporations, many of whom are aware of the addictive qualities of the foods that they produce, are not incentivized to promote healthy, nutrient-dense options. Rather, they profit from the cycles of consumption, addiction, and disease. The seemingly innocent offerings on supermarket shelves are intentionally designed to keep you coming back for more, trapped in a cycle of dependence that undermines both your health and your freedom, and this must be understood. However, the power of awareness is the first and most crucial step in changing the direction of your life. Once you understand the mechanics of how the sugar cycle operates, how these foods are designed to hijack your brain, you can begin to consciously make different choices. You can begin to break free from the programming and embrace the idea that you are capable of rewriting your own biological code. This is only the beginning of a much larger journey, a path toward a deeper understanding of our connection to food, our biology, and our potential to create our lives with intention. In this video, and in future videos, we will be revealing practical techniques for reprogramming your DNA through conscious eating practices, showing you the step-by-step processes to break free from the destructive cycles and patterns that currently govern your life. Do not skip ahead. Do not dismiss this information, as it contains the keys to unlocking your potential, to activating your personal power, and to stepping into a life of health, vitality, and true freedom.